I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the accursed, with the name of Allah the compassionate and the merciful. Peace be upon all the holy prophets, if Allah wills, what Allah wills. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of you. Today is a small but interesting topic, that a verse from Hebrews, if you read from 13 to 18, chapter number 6, verse 13 to 18, you get the impression that when God promises and adds a vow to the promise, then he cannot lie about these two things. Because he has promised and made a vow to fulfill that promise, so he cannot lie. But this is a very dangerous belief. It means that if God does not make a promise and does not add vow to the promise, in those things God can lie. This is impossible, because our Muslim faith, Islamic faith, the faith according to the Holy Quran, is that God can never lie. If he makes promise, if he does not make promise, if he makes a vow or he does not make a vow, it does not matter at all. It is only to attach more importance that he will make a vow, otherwise he does not need to make a vow, because he can never lie. Even if he does not make a vow, you can depend on his statement. So this is how the Holy Quran says in chapter 4, verse 122, Allah's promise is the truth, and whose words can be truer than those of Allah. And again 41-42, chapter number 41, verse number 42, falsehood cannot come at it from before it or behind it. It is a revelation from one wise and praiseworthy. And in chapter 6, verse 115, and the word of your Lord has been fulfilled in truth and in justice. None can change his words. And again in chapter 10, verse number 55, no doubt, surely Allah's promise is true. Chapter 39, verse 23, Allah sent down the best statement, a book. Its parts resembling each other in goodness and truth. Allah also says, if this Quran was not from Allah, you would have found many contradictions and all those things. But because it is from Allah, so there is a challenge that there is no contradiction in this book. And dear Christians, a man lies only because his mind is small and his knowledge and wisdom are limited. Therefore he commits mistakes and speaks lies in order to save himself from loss of wealth, prestige, etc. Allah is above such situations, and therefore he has no need to lie in any circumstance. Even if Allah does not make promise or make a vow, even then he cannot lie. Dear Christians are requested to interpret these verses of the Holy Bible, keeping the honor and glory of God in mind, or explain those verses in such a manner that all doubts are erased from the hearts. So with this I take your leave, and the Holy Quran not only says that Allah cannot lie, who could be truer than Allah, but the Holy Quran, Allah also says that on the day of judgment, it's the truthful who will benefit from their truthfulness. Because truthfulness is different from lying. When you go to lie, you know 1 second before, 1 year before, any time before, that you are going to lie. It is by intention. But when you commit a mistake, and you come to know only after the mistake has been committed. Because if you know beforehand, then you will not commit that mistake. So this is how the Quran differs from the Bible. Those people who say that the Quran has copied from the Bible should now revise the Holy Bible in the light of the Holy Quran, With this, I take your leave and hope that you will adhere to truth. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.